MK Ultra and God the NPC. So we're always made to fear like they always want us to do the opposite. That's what this NPC, when they called everybody normies, they just wanted them to supercharge the idea of getting out of mediocrity. So then people would end up worse. Not that they were going to get out of mediocrity, they just wanted to, cook your head up some more. That's what it is. It's like a spirit cook and a head cook. So you'll scheme and plot and shit like that. So you'll start to emanate what they've already put in you from the past. So it's like things like normie. It's like reverse manifestation. Jordan Peterson talks about reverse manifestation. The normie thing is just get you there to think about yourself. Same with like the NPC. So let me explain this. God is an NPC that runs along a line of singularity, and the NPCs get the job done every time, all the time, perfectly. And the NPC is kind of like what it also goes around on. So it's a self-correcting system. There's like backwards from physics. And that's why you can't see it. It's got a whole bunch of backwards laws, but the laws are superior to physics. We're down here, we're like, nothing's superior to physics. Well, that's what the fuck it is. It's nothing. So, you literally can't run from it, Atreyu. And, it's a self-correcting system. If you think about it, the NPCs in, say like, right now I'm thinking of like Legend of Zelda. All the NPCs that help you get through the game, they're a self-correcting system. And the correct thing is to get to the end and win. Then you're in the correct place, Super Mario. So if you think about it along those lines, you can kind of figure out and see that even a game is like a small version of what's going on here. So the NPC is a self-correcting system. You can always talk to them. They get the job done every time perfectly. They don't wander around all the time. They're not late. Things like that. They have perfect timing. You walk up to them, you talk to them, you get the quest. If they didn't give you the quest, then you couldn't save Hyrule, the system. The system couldn't self-correct. So that's kind of what I mean by self-correcting system. That's what it is, and it'll do like, this is what my book's about. It's how to like work with it. And then you can will it. But if you're not willing it, then you're willing it against yourself, or somebody else is willing it against you. If you don't know how to handle it, it's like a force thing. It's like use the force. It's kind of like exactly what it is. And it's not God, but it's a self-correcting system that works for God. So it's actually like the opposite. It's the defiance of God's will. That's basically what it is. And you don't want to use it a lot because then you'll start to just make ugliness and nastiness. There's certain ways you have to work with it, or you'll actually be doing the opposite, thinking you're doing good, but it's bad. Or you'll have too much of a good thing that's really bad. Or if you're not giving any faith to the future, you're always going to see bad. But then things turn good. So it's like, you gotta learn how to work with it. It's kind of like that Happy Gilmore shit where he's like, it's circular, Happy. It's circular, a circle. You get on the carousel, you pay the ride. Goes up and down, and it's like that. So, even the TVs and the movie characters are like NPCs. They contain a little bit of the message, and they still carry on the message. And some of that message is buried, but like I said, like, you can't escape from it. And it's like, no matter what sign, no matter how low you go, you always be like, oh, nothing's better than that. No, no, no. And that's like the end of the universe and the beginning of the universe, like the nothing. It's like a black mirror on one side and the beginning of the universe on the other side. And that's a little bit about it, the self-correcting system. And it too is immortal. As long as the earth is around, then it will roam around on the earth. On these paths all over. You can actually walk the paths with it. And it's like it contains a whole number of alternate universes. It's like an omnipresence. It's not the omnipresence, but it contains God within itself, which is humans. So it contains God within it and in itself. And it shares that in like a flow. So, basically it contains a number of alternate universes. It's almost like a TARDIS too, a time travel device. It's pretty crazy. This thing goes like read my book. You better read my book. It explains some of that. Explains how to integrate with it. Then the comic series I'm gonna do explains all about it. I write like a tantra book of how to like bind it and how to work with it. Because you can like put a leash on it and will it, like I'm saying here. It's kind of like a dog, like a backwards god. DOG. So basically there's a whole bunch of alternate universe, and it'll actually collapse your waveform before you collapse its waveform. So quantum physics is backwards, and that's because the human eye sees everything upside down in the light. I explained that so long ago, and I kind of like don't give an information like that out because I feel like science steals, and the only progression they have done since like 2013 is like the only thing that I've been explaining for free to them, because they got all this shit they don't even understand. Because the first thing is, all the stuff they do have in science has destroyed their culture, but they don't want to do that. That's why the science isn't going anywhere. That's why academia isn't going anywhere. They literally destroyed their culture. They didn't know it. I kept feeding them information. Now they're like shit. They're destroyed. They don't know what to do. Now they're trying to play it off with these stupid like Jordan Peterson matches and all this dumb shit where it's turned into a circus, American Idol. They're trying to. So I predicted that all this would happen because I knew that one thing would lead to another, like a set of stones on quantum entanglement. Because that's what it rides, and that's what God rides, is these patterns of quantum entanglement. And they work off like flashpoints. You know, the alien spaceship would just cut a 90-degree angle. It's working off a flashpoint. It's not working on like turn and rudders. So it can cut corners like that. That's all like a grid that runs along flashpoints.